He is our student council president who was selected by his class to represent them at today's graduation. Please welcome Zach Oschin.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And welcome to the graduation of the class of 2016. I'd like to start out by thanking my family who's here, my parents, my teachers who have gotten me to this point at Viewpoint over the past 13 years. All of you for being here. And most importantly, I'd like to thank the class of 2016 for giving me this opportunity to speak in front of all of you, and for giving me the friends and memories that I'll remember for my entire life. I'd like to dedicate this speech to my grandma, Francine Oschin. To start out with, I want you all to take a moment and look at the graduate who you're here to support. Don't look at me, look at that. Graduates, and I want you to look back at your families, back at the people who have come here to support you. Wave, great, perfect, awesome. Look at all those people who are here for you. And for a minute, I want to take us all on a journey. I want us to remember how we've gotten to where we are today. So I want you to think about that first day when your graduate was born. When your child or grandchild, niece or nephew, friend, when they were born and you held them in your arms for the first time. When you knew all that they were going to accomplish. I want you to think about their first words, when they first spoke. Think about those first steps, when you knew that they were on their way, when they could walk without you. I want you to think about that first day of school. This is one we should start remembering. But that first day of school where we had to let go of our parents' hands, no matter how scared we were, and when you had to let go of ours, knowing that we were beginning this path of education. I want you to remember that first A, that first grade that you brought back that you were so proud of, when they were so proud of us for achieving. I want you to remember the first time that you brought home a not so good grade. And we sat together and we talked about how we could do better, what went wrong. I want you to think about those times with your friends, those first sleepovers. I want you to think about the first time you scored a goal or played a piece of music, or the first time you achieved something that you had been moving towards for your whole entire career. I want you to think about college, about the acceptances and the rejections, and how we celebrated and how we were there for each other. And to how we are now here at graduation, making it through all those moments in life. And the thing is that we remember these big moments, these big occurrences in our lives that we mark with photos and celebrations that are so important to the memories we carry. But what's even more important are the little memories, the things that connected with us, the moments that were so important to us during our time here, during our time in life. And so I reached out to the class of 2016, to my friends, and I said, I want to hear what you have to say. I want to hear what memories you find to be the most special from your time at Viewpoint. And they responded. And what I got back was an overwhelming sense of community, an overwhelming sense that we were so happy with the time that we spent together, with the friends we made, with the joy that we felt for each other. And I want to share some of those unique moments, those memories that we'll carry with us. I heard from a lot of you about Camp Surf, about Alex Gold doing the Muffin Man dance, and then redoing it at our senior retreat and bringing back that memory. The tater tot casserole at Camp Surf that was awful, but we loved it. I heard about our senior year pep rallies, about the excitement of rushing onto the stage to Gasolina. I don't know how we found that song, but we did. Thank you, Gavin Kester. I heard from individuals. I heard from Nicolette and from Abby about how special the senior retreat was for them. How special it was to be together with that community, to be climbing on the ropes course and sledding in the snow. I heard from Marissa about that moment of swimming at CIF finals with her best friends around her and making record times. I heard from Lauren about a class she was in with Miss Cohen, where they all came in one day and were feeling anxious and nervous about college. And Miss Cohen saw that and decided instead of doing their usual lesson plan, they were going to play a game. And they just enjoyed with each other. I heard from Sarah Evans about being the Wicked Witch in 3rd grade and getting up there on stage for The Wizard of Oz and how it inspired the acting career that she's going towards now. I heard from Callie about what it means to be a lifer, to look into that crowd and know that those teachers who taught you back 13 years ago know your name and remember those moments with you. I heard from Jenna about how much it meant to her to be able to stand up in front of our grade and share the trouble and the hardship she went through high school, and how we can all go through those moments, and how the grade rallied around her and supported her. I heard from Hannah about going to the Holocaust Museum in 8th grade, and that when we were shedding tears, nobody judged each other. We just all recognized the importance of that moment. I remember in 5th grade, when our teacher, Mr. Calderon, passed away in his 20s. And we were 5th graders, and that's hard. And we came together the next day, and we talked about it. We opened up about what he meant to us. And we spent the next days writing in chalk all along the playground and on the sidewalks of Viewpoint messages to him. Because that's who our grade is. It's a community of people who love each other. It's a community of people who are willing to take action and to make a difference around them. Each of these moments is so important. Each of these is a memory that we have to keep with us. Because if I look out into this audience and I ask you how many memories, individual memories you remember from high school, my guess is that it's probably not a lot. Memory fades. And so we have to actively remember and actively try to keep these memories with us. I want to tell you a story. I couldn't get up here and stand behind the podium the whole time, so I want to tell you a story really quick. About a man named Clive Weathers. Now, none of you have heard of Clive Weathers, but Clive Weathers was a very famous conductor. And in his later on in life, he got a disease which created one of the most intense cases of amnesia ever to have existed around the world. One of the most incredible cases documented. And what happened was that he all of a sudden couldn't remember anything. All of these memories he had were gone. And every 3 seconds, he'd forget what had just happened. And so Clive, he'd be sitting there in bed, and he'd say, "Oh my God, I'm awake." And then 3 seconds later, "Oh my God, I'm awake." And this was one of the worst things that could possibly happen, because for Clive, he was sent to a mental home. And that was his life. But there were only 2 things that Clive remembered. And the first was the love for his wife. He couldn't remember his children's names, couldn't remember anything, but when his wife walked in the room, he'd go, "My love, you're here. Thank you." And for 10 years, she came in and talked to him and was there for him. And he remembered that love. And one day she was sitting there and she started humming a song. And he started to move his hands. And she said, "What's going on?" It couldn't be. And so she brought him out of the hospital, and she took him to the place in London where he'd been conducting for all of his life. And she put him on stage in front of the orchestra. And he stepped up, and the violinists put their bows up, and the musicians were ready to play. And in that moment, Clive raised his hands and began to conduct. And the music flowed, and the violins played, and he was conducting the most beautiful symphony. Not just because of the music, but because in this moment Clive was there. Clive was present. Beyond just the memories that we forget, beyond the short-term memory, lies a deeper memory, lies the things that make us who we are. And Clive remembered the love for his wife and the joy of music. And so we have all these individual memories that we're going to carry with us. Beyond that, there lies a deeper sense of joy, of love, of community, a sense of what we've accomplished here and all of the places that we will go. I dedicated this speech today to my grandmother, who's not here today because she just had emergency double bypass surgery. I went and visited my grandma. She fought through it. And as I visited her there, laying on her hospital bed, with tubes inside of her, this woman who had supported me through everything, who's been my mentor and my guide, she told me how sad she was that she wasn't going to be able to be here today. And for me, that was one of the hardest things. Thankfully, Viewpoint is live streaming this, and hopefully she's here with us right now. But for her, she was so sad that she was missing my graduation. But we talked about the memories. We talked about all of the memories that we've made these past 18 years. We talked about the love. Through her pain, we talked about the love. We talked about these moments and how much they meant. Because right now we're at graduation. This is an event. But beyond this event are the people here, all of you and all of us, who have made memories together. And that's what we'll carry with us. I have those memories with her, and she has those memories with me, and we all have those memories with each other. Because we don't know how long things are going to last. We don't know what's going to happen. But all we can do is hold on to those memories and treasure them. And so in this moment, I want you all to close your eyes. And I want you all to remember this moment. I want you all to feel the community, the joy, the love that is in this room, the love that we have for each other, and the excitement for all that we're going to accomplish. I want you to remember this moment, because this memory, this moment, will last forever. Thank you very much.